Hello everyone, we will learn about the CAD lab experiments from now on in my YouTube channel. First, we will learn about the laminar pipe flow. For that, just open the workbench software here. Now we will go to this geometry section. What is, first of all, let's break down what a workbench is. It is basically a software for the ANSYS where you can actually it is an integrated platform for simulation that connects various ANSYS tools. It can be for structural, it can be for fluid, thermal, or electromagnetical analysis as well. You can see those things that I just mentioned. You can see the fluid flow. You can see steady state thermal, uh, whatever they are. What it does actually, it simplifies the workflow by providing a unified interface for modeling, meshing, and solving, and post-processing actually. Now, what modeling means? Modeling means just creating the geometry sections. What meshing is just creating a simple, small nodes for your geometry to solve easily the mathematical equations and physics. Next is post-processing. It is actually the colorful images you see after you have done all the calculations in your ANSYS actually. Now let's start with the geometry first. Any type of analysis, you have to create the geometry first. The geometry software, you will get the geometry software from this ANSYS itself. It is called the design modeler. The software name is design model actually. So for that, just select this geometry, left click, keep pressing it, and drag it here. You can see this type of box here, and see a question mark here. So select that question mark row, right click on that on the cell, and start this. Left click. It will take some time though. Here you go. This is design modeler. It is the geometry software for our ANSYS. Now, as we are doing a laminar pipe flow, first we have to create the pipe itself. To create the pipe itself, you have to create the geometry first, as we mentioned. So for creating the geometry, go any of this plane, X, Y, Z, X or Y, Z plane. Go to the X, Y plane first. This is our XY plane, random normal XY plane. You can see the perpendicular section of any geometry by just clicking this. Look at face, plane, or sketch. There you go. It's a perpendicular view of whatever geometry you have. Now first, let's create a pipe. To create a pipe, let's say we have to create a circle. As our pipe, circular pipe, we have to create the circular cross section first. For that, let's create a circle at this XY plane. So that for that, click this XY plane, left click, and come here at the new sketch button. Press the new sketch button. Here you get a sketch 1, or your first sketch in design modeler in ANSYS. So to start the sketch, go to the sketching option here. You can see draw, modify, dimension, constant, and setting menu. From draw menu, you can select various shapes. From modify menu, you can do many modify simply. It is intuitive. Uh, what the constraints means, it will create relations, much like what you did in SolidWorks. It will create relations among two things or three things or multiple things. And what this setting does is just it is a, let it be. We will just focus on the draw menu. First, we'll have to create a circle. Let's select circle and come here, zoom it a bit, and carefully select the origin. Left click, drag your mouse while clicking your left button and release it. Here we get a circle. Then we have to create the dimensions for this circle. And go to dimension sections. We have this is a circle actually. So we will need the radius of the circle. So here is our, you have selected the radius. Click on the circumference of the circle and left click again. Come here and have to specify the dimension. Let's say we are creating a circle of 0.2 meters. Here you go. It's small circle. Now our next what we have to do, we have to extrude this geometry so that we can get a pipe from this cross section. All right. So go to these modeling sections. Here you go. Now remember, in this ANSYS, you have if you create anything, if you change anything in your geometry, or if you create anything in your geometry, you always have to click this generate button. Other or else you will not create anything in your geometry or any changes in your geometry. So keep in mind to create generate to click generate every time you do anything to your geometry. As example, I just create a sketch, and to generate the sketch you have to click here, right? Now next is to create an extrude from this geometry. So click extrude. You will see already it has a geometry section here. Now for this geometry, you can see this apply or cancel option. The geometry apply means it is basically selecting the sketch one here. If you had multiple sketch, you can see this sketch, you can see this sketch and this sketch is the same, right? If you had multiple sketches like sketch 2, sketch 3, you have to manually select those sketch 2, sketch 3 from here. We have only one sketch, so we do not need to worry about that. Next, the operation. What does it mean? It means adding material to something. As when we create a body, we'll obviously add material to that section. So we have to add material operation. Then the direction vector, what does it mean? It does mean where you have to create the body perpendicular to our geometry here. Sorry, our sketch here. Direction is normal and extent type is fixed. And let's say the length of our pipe would be 8 meters. 8 meters is a long pipe. And as I mentioned earlier, you have to tap this generate button to create an actual pipe here. See, is a pipe. Let's do a bit changes. You have to change this radius to 0.1. Click generate again. Yeah. Now you get a slender pipe. Making a slender pipe is important because you have to give some room to the flow for creating the perfect parabolic profile. Otherwise, or else it will not see a perfectly structured parabolic shape. So your pipe need to be very slender. That's why I created very slender pipe. Now you have to name the surfaces of this pipe. And what does it mean? It does mean that you have to name this surface, you have to name this surface, and you have to name this surface. And why do we do it? Because when we were in our thermodynamic courses, we saw three names for a particular geometry, and that is the inlet and outlet and a boundary, right? So inlet, outlet, and boundary, what does it mean? Inlet means the surface from where the fluid will come. Outlet means the surface. This is the surface from where the flow will go out. And the boundary means this wall of this pipe. So first let us name these selections here. Now remember an important thing. You can see four type of surface points and body icons. Here you can see the point icon. If you see that this section is selected, you can only select points on your geometry. As we do not have any point here, you can select any point here. This part here is only used for selecting edges. Like I can select an edge. I just selected an edge here. But as I told before, I am naming the surfaces. I have surface here, and surface here. So for selecting the surface, you have to select the surface option first. Now select the surface option first. Go to this surface, left click, right click on your mouse button, come here, the named selection part here, and then write the name for this surface. As I said before, fluid will come through this particular surface, so we will name it inlet. Enter and generate. Next, we have to name this surface the body of the pipe. Select that on left click, again right click, named selection, name this wall. Again, generate. Finally, you have to create this you have to name this surface, then name selection, and create the name as outlet. As your flow, the fluid will come out of this surface. Now click generate. Here you go. A pipe with named selections.